All right, do me a favor. Tell the people who we're talking to today.
Paulette Smith.
Okay, Paulette. That's what everybody call you, Paulette?
Yes.
Okay. Where you from, Paulette?
Well, people. Oh, should I say they call me P? I'm from Decatur, Georgia.
What part of Decatur? Like, where you went to school?
Keller Road, McNair High School.
What was your elementary school?
Tilson.
You went to Tilson?
Yeah.
How old are you?
45.
Bro, we might have went to school together.
Really? You definitely know my brother did.
I went to Tilson Elementary.
Yeah.
And we stayed in the street, on the street behind Tilson Elementary with my cousins, Tori, Stephanie, Travis.
How old are you?
47. I feel 36 though.
So my brother is Corey Smith. And
that name sounds so funny.
Y'all definitely, you 47? Y'all was in the same grade.
That's crazy.
Y'all was in the same grade. Y'all definitely was in the same grade.
So you went to Tilson. Describe childhood at Tilson Elementary.
We was cool at Tilson. We had the best principal. His name is Mr. Cooper.
I don't remember.
Mr. Cooper was like, definitely like the lean on me principal.
Yeah.
And I remember we all, probably every person who went to Tilson knows, like, I will and I can. That was our saying, our motto back then. And Tilson was cool, you know, we had our little, we ain't fighting stuff, you know, not like that. Yeah. Tilson was a cool school, in my opinion.
So, do you have siblings?
Yes, I have a sister, my sister's a year older than me, and I have a brother.
So you the baby?
I'm the baby.
And describe life as the baby indicator in the early 90s.
Good. Well, my older brother kept me in the house.
Okay.
So, growing up, yeah, I really couldn't go outside. Mm-hmm. Not that it was nothing going on. My brother was just very overprotective. My sister got to hang out. I was the baby, so the baby has to stay in the house.
Okay.
And that's how I grew up all the way through high school. Like, boys couldn't talk to me. Because my brother, he's like, nah, go on about your business.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Everybody need a little protection.
Yeah.
Oh, did you grow up with mother and father?
So, no. Well, I grew up with both of them, but not in the house.
Okay.
And, but my grandparents stayed 8 houses down, you know, on the same block. So I grew up with both sides of my family, definitely.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And so the junior high that you went to, what junior high did you go to?
McNair Junior High School.
You went to McNair Junior and Senior?
Yes.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
We probably definitely know some of the same people.
We do. We definitely
For real. Describe life as a teenager.
So, the junior high days was super cool. Because we had, back then, I remember some fake gang stuff tried to pop up when I was at the junior high.
What fake gang stuff?
Like, they tried to have the Crips and the Bloods back then. But it didn't really, and definitely GD. But it didn't ever go nowhere.
Yeah. We had a lot of GD.
Yeah, because we thought it was lame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's lame. Like, it very little. And then I think the Atlanta culture overtook it back then. Like, we didn't let that.
Yeah.
Because we were like, that's some lame. And so we kind of had that at the junior high school very briefly.
Yeah.
Very briefly. You know, I can remember like some people like getting jumped in type stuff. But it wasn't no major stuff like they doing now.
Right.
So we kind of played with the gang stuff too back then, but it never took off. And high school, definitely no gang activity for us. You repped your neighborhood and...
Or your side of town.
Or your side of town, yeah. And I grew up off of Keller Road, but I also stayed on Boulder Crest. As I got, high school, I stayed on Boulder Crest. So, we kind of, it was always like something going on, but never like this stuff today.
Right.
We solved our problems totally different.
Okay, so in high school, what did you want to do when you, or did you have plans on when you left high school? What is it that you wanted to do?
So initially I wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah, and
why?
Literally because when I was a kid, my cousins got taken, by the state. You know what I mean? My uncle.
For defects?
Yeah, they went to defects. And for me as a kid, it's like they taking, we don't know they at, kind of stuff. And so I remember saying I'm gonna be a lawyer so I can find my cousins. And I know they at.
Yeah.
But for me as a kid, I'm like, and from that point on, I think I was like in the 2nd grade. And I was like, I'm gonna be a lawyer so I can help.
That's what's up.
Yep.
Have you ever been incarcerated yourself?
Yeah. Yep.
For what?
Okay, so now you got to go back to the high school days, the part that I skipped, right? When you asked that question, for fighting. Yeah, I was a fighter.
Oh, you're a fighter.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, real.
But I'm saying, you went to jail for fighting?
Yes.
That's a different kind of fight, folks.
They took us to jail when we was in school.
Yeah, but only if you like, it's like a grip. Like, I didn't got myself fight. They ain't never took me to jail.
Well, and man, now, if you go to fight, get into a fight, we went to jail. So I done been incarcerated, I went 14 for a fight.
Why was you fighting at McNair High School?
So my sister, honestly.
Your older sister?
Yeah, she always
What's your older sister's name?
Cherie. When I tell you, she fought everybody. Like, my sister was, a little rougher than me. But my mama taught us, if one fight, we both fight. I think my mama taught me that. And that's what happened. And then while the time middle school, she got sick of it. I'm like, man, both of them fighting. She like, one of y'all got to not fight, But it backfired on my mama later on in life because my sister was a fighter. So I fought too. Yeah, so I went to jail for fighting at 14, but that was juvenile. Didn't really happen. And I think I went twice at the senior high school. I got expelled.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Why? How did you get expelled?
So this particular fight, we ran it like, oh, Lord Jesus.
Were you the person that people would come to when it was another big bad wolf and it was like, okay.
Yeah, so this the thing, so I had a clique of friends. They all know who they are, and we probably were a gang then. By today's society, we definitely was a gang. Because it was just girls. We all had our own little nicknames for each other, and we ran together at McNair. If you went there, you knew who we were. So I was the type of person where I never was a person who picked on nobody or nothing, and I hated bullies. So if you bully somebody, I take up for the person. I was that person.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, you think you bad. Let you meet your match. Yeah.
So let me ask you now, because when I met you, you was putting in work. You had a girl over here crying, a boy over here paying attention, and you was telling your story, but it was strong and it was impactful. So how do you communicate with an old you? Because there's a certain kind of personality that comes along with it. And there's a degree of, not nonchalantness, but like really, if you ain't talking about nothing, you're not even about to get my attention. So how do you now talk to a 14 or 15-year-old you in real life?
Yeah, so when we did meet, that's the thing. For me, I just be real with them. I tell them the truth. Yeah. One thing I know about doing this work, you have to be real. They not even paying you attention, and they see it a mile away. So all the people who step in front of them with the fake, they don't listen. Like, I wouldn't have listened. My 14 self, I wouldn't have listened. I'm looking at you like, you don't know my life. You don't know nothing about me. So before my son was murdered, like, I worked in corporate America for 17 years. So I literally had to go back to this.
Okay.
Literally.
So you hadn't got uppity. Or bougie. No, I'm
not uppity, but I just didn't dress the same.
You separated yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So, like, I dressed corporate America, and then
I said bougie, folks.
Yeah, whatever. So, but it was always an on and off, which I feel like everybody needs to have.
Oh yeah, you got to. I'm about to go put on the bow tie a little bit. I've been up there trying to cut my hair. Yeah.
Most of us, and so for me, I had to be back. It sent me back to being like real, like, not to say I was being fake, but I live more on this side than that side.
Yeah.
To survive, really, I think I just had to go back. So my dress, my talk, all that changed. Not that it wasn't there, I just hid it more. Now I don't. So I talk real to the kids.
Okay, so I've experienced that. I've seen you do that, and I've seen you grasp the attention. I've heard other people talking, and it might be a little chat, and then when you start talking, the chat is kind of die down.
Yeah.
what advice, or if any advice, can you give to an individual who is seeking to help
kids,
but doesn't quite have that factor?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
It does, because I notice it too, even being in rooms. It happens a lot. So I think that for the most part it is, some people want to do this work, some people call to do this work, some people have to do the work. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes I think it's a lot of people I have experienced in the last 3 years that there's a lot of people who do the work, they're not really in it for. And when you're not in it for the right things, it's never going to come off the right way. You know what I mean? If you don't, I think the reason I grabbed the room, because I'm a mom first.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They looking, and I'm coming in there looking like they mamas intentionally. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Intentionally, I must represent just like they, because that's the only way they gonna listen to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can come in there suited and booted, but I don't.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And I just feel like as long as you be for real and honest, that's what I do. And I do feel uncomfortable sometimes, because I notice it too. Like sometimes we be in rooms and they not listening at all.
Yeah.
And then I be like, and then I get up there and they totally, because I'm absolutely telling them the truth.
Right. I think that it's kind of like I want to say a double-edged sword, but as much as you're talking to the children, you're also talking to your peers as well, because they'll see that connection. Mm-hmm. And I learn from that. If I sound like it's just simple, even if it's just telling the truth, it's something that hearts connect to heart. So yeah. I'm gonna try this instead of giving this big old explanation. I'm just gonna tell the truth and see what happens. Mm-hmm. So it's effective. So the extent of your criminal background is basically like you put on cuffs and then they let you go. You got expelled from school, so we ain't did no real.
No, we did no real. No.
Okay, so what year do you graduate?
1998.
Oh, you graduated 98.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then when do you have your first child?
I had Jonathan. Oh shit, I'm tripping. His birthday May 12th, 99. So 99.
So right after graduation.
Yeah.
You and his father met at high school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And is that your only child?
Yep, my only child.
Okay. And how did motherhood affect you? Like, describe that moment when you first met Jonathan.
Oh well, once the baby was here, I was fine with the baby. But initially, I was like, my baby, because I was like, I had my own life going, you know what I mean? And I was like, I didn't necessarily want to be a mom initially. I literally did not. I was like, this is I wasn't really into that. I wasn't. To the fact where I literally like called the adoption agency, and my sister like, you are crazy. And I was like, I just don't want to stop my life.
Did sister already have children at this time?
Yeah, my sister had one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, ugh. But once I had my baby, literally, it just, all that went away. Okay. But at first, I was like, nah. But once he came, all that went away. Literally, that day, it was like no other thought, doubt about it. It was like, and then I disappeared, you know what I mean? I was a mama, you know what I mean? It wasn't no more my life. Because you're a mama.
Right. How was Jonathan as a small child?
Oh, my baby was very smart as a kid. All boy, full of energy every day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a cool kid. He listened. Like, I ran his life a long time, honestly. Probably past the point that I should have. Mm-hmm. I was that type of mom. But he was a kid that listened. Like, you know, really little. He was very smart. Like, he would, if I have a cup and he got a bottle, he gonna bring the cup and try to pour the milk in the cup because he wants a cup, like a little, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was that type of kid, always figuring stuff out.
That's what's up. Mm-hmm. And did he go to school in the Decatur area as well?
He went to Tilson, of course.
Wow.
He went to Tilson, and he actually, like, teachers that was my teacher actually taught him as well. Uh-huh. Like, we ended up having the same teacher, Miss Lewis. She was like my teacher. She ended up being his teacher. So elementary school, he went to Tilson, I think all the way through. Till they tore it down or something. Well, And no, I moved to the west side. He ended up going to Usher.
Did they tear Tilson down?
Yeah.
You know what? Cause I probably went to Tilson for about a year, and then we transferred to Hooper Alexander. But Hooper is tore down as well.
Yeah, they tell Tilson down. They closed it, and then it was just there. But then years later, they closed. They tore it down.
Yeah. How far did he make it in school?
He graduated. What you mean?
Okay. He graduated from what school?
Mays High School in 2017. He
What
graduated on time. That was my thing. Like I tell the story. Student he was the type of student that I had to make do his work, but he did it. You know, like you couldn't come in my house with no failure grades.
Right.
I was that mama. You can't come in my house with no. None of that. I literally be like, go back out the door because you tripping up. You know, yeah. I was that mama, like, nah. So he did okay, but he had to be made. He wasn't a kid that, he one of the kids that could slide through the crack because he gonna be quiet. He's very respectful. So he not gonna make no noise in your class. But if you don't let him sit there, he gonna sit there.
Right.
Yeah. So, like, literally in high school, I remember he brought a progress report. His grades was horrible. I was like, so what we gonna do? We got a book. I wrote down each class he was failing. Go to school, tell me what time they took tutorial.
Uh-huh.
So we made a plan, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna get up on this day. You going early, you staying after this day, and that's how we did it. And he ended up passing all his classes. And I always would tell him, like, as long as you make the effort, the teacher gonna meet you halfway.
All right.
End of the semester, he passed. He was like, Mom, I told my friend all they got to do is come to tutorial.
Yeah.
He was that type of kid, but he was a boy, so if you let him sit, he was gonna sit. But he ain't had a mama to let him sit.
Got you. It sounds like you had him spoiled a little bit.
Spoiled? What you mean?
I'm just saying. You didn't have no more children after him.
Tell me he was not. I don't know. I don't consider, because, okay, I'm going to tell you that. So my auntie told me that initially. She said, you got to have another baby because you're going to spoil him. But as he got older, she came back and was like, oh, you did good. Mm-hmm. He ain't even spoiled. I thought he wasn't going to be. She was like, nah, you did good. He ain't even spoiled or selfish like a kid who was raised, because my sister has kids. So he was raised really close with them three.
Okay.
So.
Okay, and did he have any gang activity?
So I'm sure at some point, because I could, like, literally, I remember in 11th grade, he did a project at Mays. The teacher called. He was like, Jonathan, it's a project about gang influence and how you don't gang, you know. And he did it because he was in mass communication department. Did a great, like, right to this day, I want it and I can't find it. I don't really know who to ask to get it. And so he did a whole little write-up on the influence of gang and how to avoid and da-da-da-da-da. And he played sports his whole life. So he played sports. T-ball starting at Gresham at 3.
Okay.
He played. I had him in baseball, football, and basketball. He didn't have time. Like, I just wasn't there.
Right.
I didn't give him that option. Now, once he got in high school, it changed. Yeah, because I can remember, like, I dropped out of school, but if he get out of the car and they 5 up and I'm rolling my window down. Hey, what's that?
Yeah.
I was their mama. My son used to be so livid. But I used to be like, what they got? What that sign? You know, I ain't crazy, so I'm like, what's that? And he be like, oh, mama, that ain't that. I'm like, I don't. So, you know, gang somehow creeps in on everybody.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, you didn't have no indication that he had some type of interaction with it. Nah,
because he was like, but he was, I'm never gonna say he wasn't, he just was not like, he wasn't no gangster, you know what I mean? Like, he just was a cool kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, because he was disciplined and played sports a lot, it kept him from a lot of different things, you know what I'm saying? So, he kind of just moved differently, but he still had some street in him.
Gotcha. So I want to speak to the fact that sometimes a kid could have awesome parents, a strong support system, not poor, but in a place where, you know, everything on picture and on paper, it looks like a TV sitcom. But it's another side that we as parents we don't have access to.
Right.
How can a parent recognize that? How can they alter that algorithm, so to speak?
So in today's society, I don't know if you can. You just got to try to keep acknowledging it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think for me, what I did kind of wrong with my son was I was like, this is how you gonna act. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of allowing him to kind of be who he was and me twerking it, tweaking it to where he could be him but still be on. I was like, no, you can't do it. I don't care what you're talking about. You know.
Yeah.
Stop playing with me, just for real. Like, I just wasn't a quiet mom. I was in your face mom at all times, and I think they kept him hiding stuff more.
As we do.
Mm-hmm. Like, he was respectful. Like, he was like, you not, none of that coming around his mama. First of all, he know his mama gonna know.
Right.
Gonna say something. He like, nah, none of that, nothing coming around my mama.
Yeah. Okay. And so can you describe, I've heard the testimony a couple of times, but can you describe the day that we wish we could have taken back?
Yeah, so August 31st, 2021. Regular day, I went to work. I always check on my child before I leave out the door. That's just what we do. I mean, he was 22, but he still stayed at home with me. So, and he came home every night. You know what I mean? It was like never, he wasn't a kid. Well, I know he's not a kid, but he was a kid. But he came home every night. That's his, you know, he coming home every night. So, I just get up in the morning. I went in the room, checked on him. He was in the room. I made noise just so he could move around. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's just my ritual every morning. I say a prayer before I walk out the door. Protect my house. I walked out the door, went to work. Mm-hmm. It was like the end. I worked, and it was like the end of the month. So we had end of the month process situation going on at work. And so I was really busy. Normally me and him talk throughout the day. At some point he gonna call because he wants something while I'm calling him.
Right.
But that day we didn't talk at all, which was not unusual. But you know, it's like I noticed. Of course, now I know that I ain't talked to him. You know, it's like, dang. Normally we talk every day. That day we didn't talk because I was busy at work. I came home normally. I got to my door, and I just walked in. When I walked in, the sliding glass door was open. So initially, you know, automatically I'm like, so I look around. I call him like John. I'm like Jonathan. I'm like, I probably said Lil John. I'm like Lil John. And then he answers, so I'm looking. I don't see nothing. My apartment is perfect. Ain't nothing shoveled, nothing, you know. I look, other than that, the door open. So it's like you go straight through. You can see the glass door. You go to the right, and that's where the bedrooms are. So I turn to this way. I can see clearly in his room because his room is right there. Mine is down the hall. I still don't see him. So, of course, I'm like, John, I call him again. And then I went to his room because I can see in there. I don't see anything. So then I walked into the room. But when I walked into the room is when I kind of looked down. I seen his feet. His foot was sticking out from beside the bed. And it was just like, what I do remember most about it, that his foot was sticking out. And my son was like 6 feet. And he wasn't thin. But he was so balled up and so little, you know, it's like I couldn't see him beside the bed. I mean, it just don't seem that he could fit in that position, you know what I mean? Right. And so I looked down and he was just there. And I instantly knew he was dead. I remember, I was just like, I could literally see it. I just seen, like, I could see the bullet holes. You know what I mean? Like, I looked down and somebody had shot him in the head too. So that's what I initially said. I couldn't see nothing else. And my best friend stayed across the street, which is why I always thought we was protected, because we not
it's close. You still close knit.
I literally can walk out my door to my, and I'm like, and I just remember, you know, running out the door and screaming. I was like, oh, my baby dead, you know, beating on my best friend's door. Yeah. I didn't say call the police. The ambulance, like I was saying, it was instant, my baby.
But nobody had heard nothing.
That's what they say. And literally my people was next across literally walked 10 steps to my best friend's door. So for me, I'm like, and they was there the whole day. I'm like, y'all didn't hear no gunshots. Y'all didn't check on John. Normally he back and forth the whole day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, And that's what it was. Call the police. They came. And that was that.
So when the police come, what do we go through? What's...
So the police comes and they for me, so I stayed on the outside. I never went back into the apartment after. And I kind of regret that. I feel like I should have went back, so at least I could have held them.
Okay.
One last time, and I didn't. And then I was still like, my sister came fast because she stayed literally up the street. And I remember stopping her from going in there too. She was like, and I was like, no, don't go.
Yeah.
Just don't go. I didn't want her to see it. I didn't even let her go in. And when the police got there, Clayton County, there's a whole bunch of them. And it's like, I don't know what they did on the inside, you know. They really just get on. It's a stressful situation. They don't do anything. They just go in your house. I guess they did what they was doing. They kind of spoke to me, but didn't. You know what I mean? Considering what was going on, I'm sure they probably like, it ain't nothing they could say other than me telling them initially what I just told you.
Yeah.
It take forever. You just be out there and they doing whatever they doing. And they called a, you know, medical examiner, and you sitting there, and it's just a lot. Like, they like, we gonna get them. Don't worry, mama. I promise. I mean, literally, because I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I just remember wanting to go back in, and they wouldn't let me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That was a fight, probably, and it was just a rough day.
So, do you go down to the police station, or they just question you there?
No. So, yeah, they questioned me. So, literally, they didn't question me until the next day. They sent a detective out the next day.
Okay.
They sent a detective out the next day.
So, but you've gone back in the house at this point.
Yeah. So
I want go commercial break me like, okay, so when you go back in this house and your son's body is gone, how are you emotional? Like, where are you at? Where's your mind? Where's your spirit at?
So my spirit will fight. My spirit like, where the fuck they at? Yeah. That's what I was doing. I was in that like.
That's the old man.
Yeah, what you talking about? Who?
Yeah.
I was there. Like, I want whoever, please come back. Like, my family was like, oh, you're not gonna leave? Nope. Did not leave for months.
Yeah.
Like, where I'm going? Y'all came in my house, killed my baby.
Yeah.
To me, that was like, he wasn't in the streets.
Yeah.
He at home. So for me, it was like, it's war. I ain't going nowhere. I want you to come back because it got to be somebody close because you came in my house. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nah. So I went back in. My family had took his bed because it was blood on it. I didn't know. So I was like, oh, y'all took his bed. They took it and put it to, take it to the dumpster. I literally remember walking back to the dumpster like, and they like, no, P, you just got to let it go. It's blood on it. You know what I mean? It was like, and I literally sat in his room. I just sat there. The blood was still on the floor, and you could smell it. And I just sat there, like, and it was just, I probably literally didn't sleep that night, I know. My grandbaby was not there. She was in Macon with her mom.
So wait, he has a child? Okay.
Yeah.
So the legacy lives on.
Oh, yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is Alana Brielle.
Your face just lit up when you said that. You had did the whole little dance and everything. I know she's spoiled. You ain't even got to tell me.
Yeah, her name is Alana Brielle Nadine McWilliams. And her daddy name, my mom's name is Nadine. So her daddy added the Nadine to it for his grandma. Because my mom passed 2 years, almost to the day of my son getting murdered. So, yeah, he has a baby. She wasn't there. She was like 15 months when he was murdered. But they was so close. Like, we did, like, him and his baby mama was together. They had broke up a couple months before, though. But we did split custody because I'm his mom, and we gonna work this out.
Right.
So my grandbaby, and she would be with us, 1 week and be with her mom 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
And so my grandbaby ended up coming. They, her mom ended up getting here from Macon. And that was a whole nother, because my grandbaby was 1.5, she can walk. So she instantly going to her daddy's room because they so close.
Right.
And she literally looked for him for months. Like, she would just keep going to their room. She would just keep going to his room, keep going to his room. So that night when she got there, I just looked at her like, and for me, that's one of the hardest things, because she got to grow up without a dad.
Mm.
And me, now I try to feel everything, every place he's supposed to be. That's on me now.
Okay, so I can only imagine what your questioning was for the police in reference to what they're doing. What was your questioning for? Because we'll go to the police for something, but then also we'll do our own. We'll start doing our own work, and we'll try to figure. Because the streets always talk. Somebody always knows something.
Yeah. So the questioning with the police, I literally have Clayton County just was horrible. Like, they treat me like I'm a criminal. Like.
What you mean?
So when I go, because I do have questions, I do want to know what you.
Do you remember the detective that you dealt with?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Her name is Wright first. I had two. So that's the thing. Okay, my baby first detective, her name was Detective Wright, and she was pregnant at the time, and she had my son's case initially. Mm-hmm. And she ended up, of course, going on maternity leave.
Oh, okay.
So my baby case literally got stuck in between a transition. I had to call. Oh, hold on. Before she left on maternity, she ended up getting a promotion. So she ended up going from detective to lieutenant, I think, or whatever. And in that case, she held on to my baby's case because her son knew my son.
Huh?
Yeah, and I didn't know that. So her son knew my son. I ain't really know that. And so on one of the conversations with me and her, like, hey, because I'm like, what are y'all doing? Because it was rain. It was like they had to go out the sliding door. What was the fingerprints? What are y'all, like, come on. Yeah. It's just, to them, that it's just another murder.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal for them. So I'm the mama who coming. They like, we don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? Right. They feel like I have literally heard, I'm not the victim. You're not the victim. We don't have to answer you. I'm like, that's my house that somebody came into,
right,
killed my child, and I'm not the victim. Well, who is the victim?
Yeah.
Because Jonathan dead. He don't feel none of this.
Right.
I do. So who the victim? They literally tell you, as the mom, that you ain't the victim? Okay, well, your baby the victim. Somebody the victim around here.
Yeah.
And they looking at me like, and now you gonna get them at there. And now they looking like, then they want to talk to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I literally have to go back and be suited and booted for them to pay you any attention.
Facts.
And I don't got the energy to do that at times.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's a battle, because I feel like I shouldn't have to do that for y'all to look at me, for y'all to hear me, for y'all to know that my baby was murdered. I shouldn't have to dress up and play for y'all.
Yeah.
But you do.
Right.
You really do. Because if not, they're not going to listen to you. And I don't have the energy, so at times I have it, and other times I'll be like, F them folks.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna hear me this way, because I come out here and sit every day. I march, which I have, feel like I'm gonna do, and then I feel, so then after that, I had to start doing other stuff to keep me from raging about it, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's how I ended up just doing advocate work. I jumped in it like, hey, it gotta go somewhere, and I kept saying, if I can't get justice for my baby in the court, I'm gonna get it another way.
So what you're saying is, okay, so, because my transition is similar to this. So we lost a soldier. So because we lost this soldier, I'm going to stop these soldiers from losing their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that this loss will not be in vain at all. In fact, because of this loss, these people going to live because of Jonathan.
Yeah. I mean, I tell, like, so I told him, I was like, for my one, I'm going to take a nation back.
Bro,
they can't stop me,
listen,
you know what I mean?
I'm with you on that, because I was like, I gave y'all 10, guess what?
Yeah.
I'm about to stop 1,000,000 years from going in there. That's it.
Exactly.
I die with it.
Right.
I die with it. So What was I know what your inquiry was like with Clayton County, but how was it? What was it with the streets? Straight McNair.
Yeah, so the streets just don't play fair no more. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, you not killing my people. You ain't getting away with it. Who? Mm-hmm. First, and the big thing is the snitching. Like, it's like they say people snitch all the time.
Right.
Niggas snitch, but that's just not my experience. You know what I mean? Somebody holding their mouth on my baby, and it's just like, but I feel like that's because it wasn't the streets who killed my baby for real. Like, yeah.
What you mean?
You know, because I feel like it wasn't no random. You know what I mean? Like, you come in somebody's house, there's more of somebody who kind of know.
With no glass kicked in, no forced entry, so somebody
other than the back door being open, which it shouldn't have been.
Right.
But, yeah, so, yeah, I probably feel like, in the streets, you know, so people would say stuff. But they would say, vague stuff. Dang, people they just not talking for some reason. And I'm like, hey. But yeah, as his mama, of course, and I know a lot of people. So I'm also like, street part of me, like, I'm out here. Like, I can talk to him. And the thing about my child, he really understand how many people I knew, right?
Right.
So, cause he didn't know mama, he didn't really know.
Right.
I used to tell him all the time, like, well, you. And so when my son was murdered, it was like, it hit so many, like, because he wasn't the kid that you would thought would have got murdered. So people coming out the woodwork, like, at his funeral, they look like, people like, dang, we didn't even know. So I'm like, somebody gonna tell it because I know too many people.
Right.
Like, my hands and it just still haven't came. So I'm like, it's a struggle every day. Like, I literally have to live my life as two different people. And I have to regulate my emotions all day, every day, and it's exhausting, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because no matter what I'm doing, it's always somebody murdered my child. And I'm mad as fuck about that. Mm. I cover it up. Like, you probably like, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I have to literally live in two separate places a lot, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to talk to the kids.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to, because I would always feel like you murdered my baby. Who? Because I don't know who. So, like, I couldn't be able to, like, still, I come out with y'all and do certain things, but the trust with people is just, you know, it's probably never going to be, because somebody murdered my baby. And I feel like sometimes I want to yell to the world, you know what I mean? And I think that the black mom of a murdered son is the most unheard person. And I feel that way because we see the kids getting killed. They gonna plaster that because they want us to look like.
Yeah.
But they don't want to see them. They don't want to never hear the mama's pain. They don't never want to hear the story behind it. They want you to bury your baby and move on. Up. Yeah.
So it's crazy, because that's where my next line of questioning was going to come to, because unfortunately, I know a lot of black mothers that have lost their babies, man, and it's just the number, every day, it's going to happen today. Like, literally.
Yeah.
It just happened last night in DeKalb County. So, what do you, as a mother who is going through that struggle, what can you say to another mother who, that womb is fresh, it just got cut? What can you say to her? What would you say to her?
So, sometimes it depends who, because when it's somebody that I know personally, because it happens, you know, it has happened to my people, and when it happened, not that I'm discarding nobody else, you know what I mean? Because I talk to other mothers, it's easier for me to talk to them, honestly, because but when it's my people, I'm mad again, angry. So sometimes I can't. Sometimes I don't. I have to give myself a moment because I have to always remember that I got to show up a certain type of way. Because sometimes I'm showing up very angry, and when I'm talking to another mother because I know they pain, I'd be like, but I do. I keep it real, very real with them. I don't tell them nothing folk told me. I'm gonna tell them the truth. Like, hey, you finna fight for your life. You wanna fight for your life. People gonna come up to you. They tell you, and I try to cover them for their jobs. You know what I mean? Like, nobody, we ain't go through this, and they don't tell us what to do. They just feel like, put your life back together. But how do you put it back together? It's programs from people who got out of jail to help them get their life back together. It's programs. It's programs for the kids to get their life back together. I work in this every day. The programs, where they at? I do it and struggle. It's no programs to help us. They don't have a book. They not. It's not. It's just, it's so hard. And I tell them they in the fight for their life. I tell them, you gotta fight for your life. And you gotta fight. Because if you lay down, because you gonna have some dark days.
Yeah.
And it is you wanna lay. And you gonna do it too. I lay down some days. But because I've always been a fighter.
There is a lady that I met downtown. No, not downtown. The Fulton County Juvenile Court. I think her name is, I want to say TK. She has a similar story. No, what's her?
So, because I actually worked with Mothers Against Gang Violence. And so that's kind of how I did get into advocating. But her story is her son is not murdered. He's in prison.
Okay.
So he committed a crime. And now she did an organization to try to help people navigate the judicial system initially.
Gotcha.
So she works with the kids doing that. I came along and met her. So I kind of was one of the first moms that she started with boys. And I mean, it was just more a place for me to be where we could talk. And because in her, like, we just keep it real. We all got the story. My story is that my baby passed. The other mom's story may be their son are incarcerated. So it's kind of like a mixed thing with her.
Right. So let me ask you this. If there's a conversation that could be had with, I don't want to say it like a mother who's about to, but I would say a mother who could potentially, but that actually addresses every mother in the world, because any of our children can be taken at any time. So is there something that could be said to forewarn these mothers who think that, okay, so we good, because we semi in the suburbs and this
or they get
and
a
this.
Because for me, I thought once I got my son out of high school,
he good. He's a success story. It's a success because most of us don't do that. Let me tell you something. On paper, we looking at the father of the year. Because, man, in the state of Georgia, we don't graduate.
Right.
We don't graduate. And then to graduate and not have a record.
Yeah, no record. He's like, everybody like, so my baby didn't have an option. It was not an option of going to school. You're going to school, you know what I mean? So I thought once I got him across that stage, and he's like 19, 20, I thought
this the blueprint.
Made it.
This the blueprint.
I thought I had made it. I did. And I'm not saying, now I can't say I thought I made it to where I took my parenting off of him.
Right.
But I had to change it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he was a grown man.
Yeah.
I still parented. I still was like in his ear, but he had his own choices. I let him make them to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So I would say to the parents, like, don't ever think it's not you. Don't ever think it couldn't be you. The kids actually think that too. And we have to get them to understand that it can be you. Like, I literally remember, I don't remember a lot about my son's funeral, but I remember standing up and telling his friends, I was like, Jonathan never thought he was going to be here. He never thought. He thought he was going to, my baby rap, I got music. Well, he like, psh, psh, psh. I mean, literally, you're not going to take me from my mama. It happened. You know what I mean? So I tell parents, we don't matter if you the streetest parent, it don't matter if you the richest, it don't matter if you give your kids the word, it don't matter if you making them struggle. Don't ever think that it couldn't happen to you, especially us, because it's happening to us, and we all have to get into it to where we trying to figure out how to stop it. You can't just think it's an individual thing.
Right.
It gonna take all of us to change it. And then we gotta be serious about it. We can't just be talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta be like, so I was the parent that if I'm in my son go anywhere, as a kid, I'm correcting all the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I do it now with my grandkids at the park.
Right.
The little boy at the park the other day, he's just a little boy, but he's steady. I just give him a look.
Yeah.
He straighten up.
Right.
Just open your mouth. Don't keep sitting back acting like it ain't my kid.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if all of us try, then we can get somewhere. But if it's just me trying, I'm woe out now. I'm literally woe out.
Yeah.
To where now I'm like, what you doing for you? Because I'm tired. Because we getting woe out because it's not a collective. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just a select few. But it's, as you see, they gang, so we got to be gang too. What y'all doing? What you doing?
That's a whole nother interview. Let me ask you, and I've seen you do this, and I don't know if you're doing it on purpose, but I've seen it sometimes when we in these different places talking to these different kids, you beat a mama, and I can see the message being relayed. You good. I can see the message being relayed that, like, I see what you're doing. I know what you're doing out there. Like, don't disappoint me.
Yeah.
Like, don't.
Because it's about giving them expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I expect you to be great. You can't let kids just be out here not building up to nothing. What they doing? Like, I do it. It's natural. Like, the other day I slapped the boy hand. Like, they over there playing.
You could not do that.
I know.
You know,
like, I'm like, you can't do it's so, I be like, oh.
You be in mama mode, folks. You be in mama mode. I'm talking about from the moment you hit the door to the moment you, I was like.
I don't know nothing else but mama, but get what? That's what they need. Cause get what? They listen to mama.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't they mama. They listen to me before they listening to they mama. Want me to tell you why? Cause they mama playing. You ain't being mama.
Yeah.
I'm mama always. I mean, I remember about high school, the dudes be like, Paulette, the mama of the crew.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. You
big
know what
auntie,
I mean?
big auntie.
All the time. And I'd be trying not to, because I literally, the other day when I did it, I was like, dang, you just popped that one head.
You cannot do that.
Then one day, one of them was on the floor, and I was like, what you doing? Like,
yeah.
What you doing down there?
Yeah.
And he just looked like, yeah, get up. What are you doing? Because they still, I always tell people, you have to treat kids like kids.
Yeah.
You can't treat them like a grown person and expect them to act like a kid.
That ain't how that work. So, to the mothers that having a clue, who is still out here living their best life, if there's something to be said to that population.
You ain't want to live your best life without your child. You're not going to bump not wanting to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to live my best life. I'm never going to get that no more. That's gone. That's over. Ain't no best life without mine.
How was Jonathan's relationship with his father?
So, Jonathan, so me and Jonathan's dad was together till he was 13 in the house. So he was raised with his dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? He wasn't a kid, he wasn't raised with his dad. So we broke up when he was about 13.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, we separate houses.
Okay.
It was a struggle because my baby daddy was like, he kind of was like a baby daddy that's like, okay, if it's not the mom, the son. So,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even now looking back on it, it's like a tender subject because it's like, yeah, it was hard. They had a relationship. He always financially took care of him.
Right.
The financial was there. But the support, the guidance just wasn't, and I don't, thinking about it, it's probably because he didn't know his daddy didn't do it for him because I was there to see it. You know what I mean? Like, we was together since we were 14. So I kind of know that his daddy wasn't that daddy either. But I felt like I was there to help him realize it. You know what I mean?
Hold on, you saying so Jonathan's father didn't have a father figure is what you're saying?
He had his father, but he was not an active father.
Okay.
So he did the exact same thing his dad did.
Oh, so he was displaying his definition of what he thought fatherhood was.
Okay. Which is financially take care of him.
Yeah.
financially.
He didn't have that nurturing spirit about
the guidance part. It was like, and it was bad because once John got into middle school, high school, I'm the mama who like, I know, okay, I'm that mama like, no, I need a man. I'm not the mama who felt like I could raise a son by myself. You know, like, no, I'm asking my homeboys, like, my people help me raise him. Like, friends, I go back to my neighborhood. I'm talking about men who I grew up with talking to my son and my nephew, you know.
Right.
And so his dad just didn't. He always kept saying he don't know what to say. He don't know what to say. Or he kept saying stuff like, he need more time. I need more time. And you let the time run out. You never stood up. And I'm like, bruh. So it was like a hard thing, like financially. But to say this is like Jonathan loved his dad.
Right.
Now, their relationship, you know, wasn't close, but they definitely had
one. Yeah.
My son, I couldn't speak of him. Not that I would, but it wasn't no situation where like you couldn't talk bad about Big John in front of Little John.
Right.
And that also comes with, as for moms to know, you got to put that in your child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You teach your child to respect both of their parents. You know what I'm saying? That still was me all day. That's your daddy. I don't care what he do or don't do. That's your daddy. So he loves his daddy, and their relationship was just on and off. You know, because his daddy was like, he could call him.
Yeah.
I need this. I literally was like, don't let him call you for money. Don't let him just call you for that. Y'all need to build a relationship. But you know, as he got older, he felt like my baby daddy felt like he'll figure it out. And I feel like, no, he has to be guided.
How was he affected by Jonathan's passing?
So, when my son passed, me and his dad, you know, over the years, our relationship just was not there. I ain't really want, I mean, John was grown, so he didn't have to talk to me, you know, and kids have cell phones at early ages.
Yeah.
So, we went on like a talking situation. It wasn't arguing, but we just went cordial, you know what I'm saying? So, I think my sister may have called him when it happened. He came, you know, like, he just literally sat there. I was in the room on the floor. I remember around the fact my pastor came.
Now, does he have other children?
Mm-hmm.
So he was literally the only child.
We only had him. And he just, so for us, the affecting part, he not the same person, you know. He don't show his feelings about it. You know what I mean? He just moving. Yeah. But I know him to know that it's like it just bothers him. You know, yeah. It's hard. And men don't express it as much. I think that
some of us don't.
Yeah, he holds it in more.
Yeah.
My son held stuff in. Yep. You know what I mean? So he just moving through the emotions.
So what is your granddaughter's name?
Alana. Mm-hmm. And I have a grandson, which is not biologically my son, baby, but he had raised him from time he was like 5 months to 3. Gotcha. So DJ was 3 when Jonathan was murdered, and Lana was 1.5.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, so what's the legacy? Like, how do we want Jonathan to be remembered in his daughter's eyes? Like, how are we keeping him
alive,
relevant? So
literally, my grandbaby, if you meet her, she's gonna tell you about her dad. Right. She knows, like, it's hard because she also she would also say my daddy's dead, or my daddy got killed, because her mom, you know, I was trying to protect them and not tell them so much. They were so young, but she know the story, you know. So she, like her teacher, I just recently went to her school to pick her up, and her teacher stopped me and said, she was like, you know what? She was like, and I never met that teacher before. She was like, you know, your son had to be an amazing person. She was like, because his daughter always speaks of him. And she always talks about, you know, she kept saying, your son just had to be an amazing person. Because his daughter just talks about him so much, and she always talking about you. So for me, you know, his legacy, I feel like, hey, my baby's, for me as his mom, I feel like my baby was fulfilled his legacy for himself. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you knew him, you know what it is. Like, you
Facts.
truly know. Like, I can't, like, the streets know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
I know who he, you know what I mean? They may be telling me, like, literally, they may know a whole different, but whatever it was, they know who he was. You feel what I'm saying? I can't really, they know.
What does tomorrow look like for you? Like, what's your vision in reference to the work that you do, to the peace that you bring, to the understanding that you express to others?
So, honestly, I don't know now. I'm figuring it out. Like, I'm at a place to where I'm trying to figure it out because I dove so deep into the work that I didn't build my life back up.
Mm-hmm.
So now, tomorrow, literally tomorrow I'm meeting with the lawyer because the apartment that my baby was killed on is now on my credit. And I literally can't. Are you
serious?
Yeah, I can't move. No, they took that away. Like, I can't even go. And it ain't because I didn't pay my bill. It's not because my credit ruined my life. Tomorrow I'm meeting with a lawyer to try to get this off my credit because I literally live in my best friend's basement apartment now. I was going to be homeless. Yes, I have clothes and shoes and all that, but that ain't that because for me, I don't got nowhere to stay for real.
Right.
But I did nothing. My son was murdered.
Yeah. Mm.
And that's the part that gets looked over for the mom. Like, what if you can't go back to work? I literally, because I worked in a certain industry, I was okay financially because, but it's mamas who don't have what I had.
Mm.
And I'm still struggling. Was going to be homeless last year. Tomorrow, make a year that I moved in my best friend apartment. That been there since I was a kid. Now I'm back in my neighborhood. I felt like it was home though. You know what I mean? I'm like, it was tough. Cause I'm like, how I end up in the basement?
Mm.
I like literally like, oh. So, but I made the best of the basement. It's so cute. And, you know what I mean? Like, I kick it because I'm just who I am. But some mamas not that.
Right.
Some mamas
It'll consume you.
Some mamas you get tired of trying to keep. You steady fixing it. The stuff steady. It's a lot to check off your list.
Right.
And then when your baby case ain't started, that's the number one on your list.
And I gotta add, cause we gotta speak to this, cause when we be putting in that work, bro, a lot of people, it don't pay no money. It do not pay no money. Listen, if God ain't sent you to go to do this work,
it ain't. I just said it has to be a calling. No, this does not keep you financially.
It does not, bro. It does not.
No.
It don't. And you have 5 or 6 jobs, and
it don't add up to one. So
don't.
I think that's super unfair, right?
Facts.
I feel like, and then we got Trump in the office who finna stop the little funny that we are getting, right? So, or who's trying, because I'm not going to give him that he's going to stop it, right? He trying. People who don't know, because I didn't know until I got into this, it don't pay you. I mean, like, it don't pay my bills.
Mm-hmm.
It does not. Like, I'm literally like, just one of my people who I used to work with text me today. I was like, I'm finna look for a job because I can't go down.
Yeah.
But I would love to be able to have a job doing this because not to toot my own horn, but I know this what I.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, this what y'all need for real.
Yeah.
But they gonna overlook me. And they not paying nobody for real.
Nah, for real. That's the reason, like, that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, because I'm just like, well, that's the reason why I be in and out. Because I'm just like, bro, this Save the World stuff be real cool, and I love it, and it make me warm on the inside. But so does Georgia Power. So does the running water. If I don't pay these bills, then it's going to be real weird, right?
And it takes the dedication. Like, we have to be, and you be dedicated, because once you start being into this, if you for real about it, it's your life now, right?
Right.
But you still got your personal life. You got to choose. We shouldn't have to choose.
Right.
We shouldn't have to choose.
That's a cold-blooded place, man. That's a cold-blooded place because you have the ability to change the world, but not the water to survive the fight.
No. Yeah, and then and it's like part of you want to be like, because for me, I'm like, I be trying to quit.
Yeah. I get that.
I try try to quit all the time. Yeah. Literally, I be like, it's over, I'm quit. Then I get 4, 5 calls like, hey, this mom, just can you talk to him?
And then it bring you back in.
And I can't. And people even tell me, is this re-traumatizing me? You know what I mean? Because it does. Like some of the calls I have to get off. Like I'm like, hey, I told Angela recently, hey, this is my real life. I can't listen to people tell me that the police finna do this after a crime and this and that, because I know that they don't.
Facts.
I couldn't hear it. Yeah. I was like on that call, like, and literally got off. Text like, hey, I can't do that because y'all can hear that, but this is my life. I lived it, so I know what they do. And that's some bullshit they talking. Like, they don't do none of that stuff. And we going through training because now I do this work, so I know, which is another reason why I did. You get on the inside, so you know how they make they move to help me in my case and period in life and help other people too.
That is the story of I am the spook that's set by the door. And every now and again, I play myself out of position because I would be like, man, well, we'll talk about it out there. Yeah. But I'd be like, hey, man, you should shut your mouth. You shut your mouth and let somebody else do this right here.
Yeah.
But I believe in positive affirmations. Like, I work with at-risk females, and we was at the DeKalb County Juvenile the other night, and I seen something that most people don't get to experience. So I'm a father of daughters. My daughters tell me what to do. They tell me how to dress. They tell me what to eat. And I ain't mad at that because, you know, the black woman is something that she's supposed to be in charge. Right. So when I go in here and I talk to these young ladies, I bring that same energy. So as they came in one night, because mind you, I had my curriculum, what I was going to talk about, but I just went with the positivity because, you know, whenever people ask me like, hey, Butler, how you doing? I would be like, it's the best day of my life.
Right.
I don't know how I can get no better.
Right.
And that's just me. I believe that once you put positive energy into the world, it has the responsibility to respond. Right. So I told them young ladies, every one of them, I found something positive about them. And I was like, man, I like your jacket. I like your coat. I think you dope. I think you smart. But then when they said, damn, mind you, these are 16 young ladies who got on ankle monitors, and they got that McNair. I ain't gonna say McNair because McNair ain't a bad place.
Don't do that.
There's a difference. I'm gonna say this. There's a difference between Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. Yeah. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
There's a difference between McNair and what school? Cross Keys back in the day, maybe.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying.
Why you say Cross Keys though?
Because that was kind of the little wannabe.
I went to Cross Keys.
Well, sorry.
I'm saying you did that on purpose.
I didn't know, but maybe I just.
How you just call out Cross Keys like that? Don't do that.
It was.
You gonna call Cross Keys out like that?
Yeah, because that's where you go to hide. I ain't gonna say.
Wow. Wow, why you playing though?
That's where your mama send you. That's where your people send you to get it together.
Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I was going to Cross Keys. See, you get me off. I had a Martin Luther King moment going. You just interrupted it. So what I'm saying is, you know what? I was going to Cross Keys and I was living over there. That's when they had that M&M. And then I was like, I don't want to go back to Cross Keys. I'm gonna go to Redan. And then I realized that, you know, it's black people to go to Cross Keys, but it's black people to go to Redan. Like, it's black. It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I want to go back to my regular school because I was the big dude. But anyway, my point is that I had the young ladies we went around in a circle and I had them to say something positive about every other young lady that was in that classroom. Mm-hmm. When I tell you I experienced Black Girl Magic, it was one of the dopest moments of my life because they were just like, yes, girl, yes. Yeah. It was just a whole bunch. So I believe, because I believe in positivity and putting that positiveness in the world, guess what? Man, some good stuff gonna happen to you because of the good energy that you put in the world. Right. The financial issues is not gonna be an issue. It's just gonna be a testimony that you're gonna have to somebody else. A lot of times we just go through things because he know we strong enough to take that, and he using us, and he gonna use us to bring the light on somebody else. But he don't use weak people,
right?
Because it'll crush them. You see what I'm saying? So everything that you go to is a testimony to your strength. Yeah. So it's just like, although it seemed weird because it get cold and sometimes we get hungry, at the same time I done been in there. And I'm talking, I done been in some dark places and I was like, man, this is too rough. I am not a street nigga. This is the dumbest thing. Why are you doing this to me?
Right.
Where's the stop button? I done woke up in the cell. I was like, I thought this was a drink. This is not a drink. This is real. Mm-hmm. I want to go home. But now when you get in front of these people, when I get in front of these people, I'm taking that ball of emotion and I'm giving you everything I got. And sometimes that's what it takes in order for these people to see the light. Sometimes we suffer, man, so that other people can succeed. It's no different from Sister Martha getting hit with the water hose. She got bit by the dog. She didn't do it for her. She did it so that we can have this conversation right here. So I want to thank you for not just doing the interview, but for the work that I see you do, like in real life. One time you was talking, I had to duck off. I was like, she ain't gonna make me cry. I'm thugged out. Don't do that. I was like, let me back up in this.
Right.
But I want to thank you for the work that you do. And I respect the way that the children respond to when you come in and you take the floor. It's just like, they give you that respect. I was like, you just had your head down. And you were giving all, your stomach was hurting. She made stomach start hurting. I'm confused. But it's that respect. It's that energy. It's that positive energy. It's that mama roll. It's all that. And without that pain, you wouldn't be there.
Absolutely. Right. Because I did, church. I used to do the children lock-ins. And I always was team mom. My baby played every sport. I had always been that with kids. I never knew why until now. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm like, okay, I get it. And like you say, it's definitely like, because even though it's hard, I've been all right. You know what I mean? I've been like the loneliness and my family being ripped apart literally because of it. And my friends disappearing because of it. That part is super hard. But overall, people see me, and if I don't tell them my story, they don't know.
They won't know it at all.
They wouldn't know. You know what I mean? But I make sure I mostly tell them. Sometimes I want to scream it to the world because they're like, don't you hear me? But God definitely, kept me. I'd be like, I tell people because I know if I would cave into what I feel, if it was just on me and my strength, it wouldn't be none of this.
Right.
I would have been done.
Last question. So, Jonathan up in heaven with my little brother, and they watching YouTube. What you say to them?
So, and I'm so glad that you said that because it's something that I do. Like when other moms die, I always tell them like, at this point, I know they know my baby. They up there kicking. So for you, like I'm like, So I would definitely say, because now that we met, I automatically know my baby know your brother. You feel what I'm saying?
Big facts.
So they like, my son like, my mama, she doing that's how my mama. He know me. Like he lived. I told you the detective said her son told her, John mama don't play. Period. Like John always was talking about his mama. That's exactly what John already said. So she was like, I already know who you are. You know what I mean? So my son just like, you got it. Like I hear him sometimes because when I get really sad, it's like, he be like, no, get up. You got to keep going. You know what I mean? And your brother is like, man, look at my big brother. He ain't doing the bull no more. Like, he made it. Like, I might have didn't made it, but he made it. My son, like, my mama got it.
We got to put an event together for this. So, when my little brother got hit in 95, 96, my dad was on that Buford Highway dope. And we used to live in hotels. So at 5 years old, he was crossing Chapel Road. He got hit by a car. So here's the thing. Not until 20, 30 years later, me and my siblings, we got together last year for the first time. And honor him. And it's called Nick's Playdate. So what we do is we go out to the same hotels and we get people. I'm the moonwalk man. So I'm like, we bring moonwalk. I don't know how I came up on a couple of bicycles, but everything just kind of coincide. So with me, I'm just like, we lost this being, but because we lost this being, we're going to bring some goodness in his name. So when you do something for Jonathan, just know you got some moonwalk, some cotton candy, some snow cone, and some popcorn machines on standby. You just let me know where to give them to. But thank you, and we appreciate you.
Absolutely.